Rams fans, welcome in on this edition of Rams Showcase. Cuts are in, and we've got names to talk about. Plus, look at the initial 53, what it tells us, and later, last of what I consider the off-season version of fan quesos. Let's rock.
We here, man. We gotta take advantage of victory on one. Let's go.
Welcome to Rams Showcase. And now, here's your host, Sheriff Joe Bax.
Yes, welcome to it. Thank you, Payo, for bringing me in. And Payo with the intro, this version. And so I decided to pull out the shirt that me and Payo both rock. And this shirt, of course, you've seen it on Payo's channel plenty of times. It's his good luck shirt, in fairness. So you know what? Payo on the intro, Payo in our hearts. Payo, make sure he's in your subs as well. So get that action going. So if you would like to participate in that intro, by the way, you want to give me a quick, this is Ram Showcase with Sheriff Joe Bags, hit me up. I can make that happen. Want to have as many of you as possible on this thing this year, as this is a Rams podcast for the people. We're here for it, man. Make sure you follow along on socials at Sheriff Joe Bags, at Rams Showcase, ramshowcase.com as well. Also, make sure you are following First and Tuna as the Tuna and the Sheriff show that we do in the mornings is officially on season schedule, which means Monday morning, 7 a.m., Wednesday morning, 7 a.m., Friday morning, 7 a.m. Come join us. It's going to be a good time. We are also bringing back our pregame live streams this year. So on the Ram Showcase Facebook page, YouTube, and other places I can try to get it. I'm not sure how many I'm allowed to do. But we'll do the pre-games there. Hopefully rock some giveaways as well. So stay tuned on all that business, and it's going to be some good stuff. As far as Tuna and the Sheriff goes, by the way, wanted to pull this up so I got the name right, as the Instagram page that is at LA Rams Fans, all one word, LA RAMS FANS. Follow that. You'll be catching clips of Tuna and the Sheriff as well, as that's going to be a sweet spot. Already a sweet spot to get some Rams info on the IG, but you'll get some more Sheriff in your life that way. So you get Sheriff on Rams Showcase every single Wednesday night, as we are in season schedule. And then, of course, we'll be doing Tuna and the Sheriff, so you get me live 3 times a week for 30 minutes each show, and then pregame lives as well. So plenty of action. I'll be in your lives quite a bit this season. I'm fired up for it, man. It's going to be some good stuff. So before we talk about the cuts that came in just, what was that, yesterday was cut day, I want to touch on uniforms, because we do get our new uniform tomorrow, which is going to be Thursday the 28th. We get the rivalries uniform. So the AFC East and the NFC West, all of those teams will be unveiling their rivalries uniforms. That happens tomorrow. Rams put out a pretty sick little teaser. If you're quick enough, dude, you can find some little gaps in there where you can actually kind of see what's going on. I saw royal shoes with what looked like a navy pant, and then it looked like yellow horns. So I don't think that we're going anything too crazy there, but I would guess navy on the helmet as well. And my guess is navy jersey as well. So I've given my official prediction on that Puka Nacua teaser, but I'm not sure I'm confident in that anymore. It happens, dude. My pick was navy jersey, navy to royal gradient pants. Not sure we see that. That was my guess. Royal to soul gradient number. Doubt we see that, I'll be honest. And then yellow and royal on the sleeve, yellow and royal on the sleeve. Similar to, I thought it was gonna be like kind of that same shoulder design as the bone jersey, just with the different colors, but who knows anymore, man? I feel like we were sent some misdirections on these rivalries uniforms. Also, I'm going to call out Arizona before we even get these, because it seems like Arizona is doing what they're considering a sand color, which is very much just the bone, but with Arizona. So I know some people, myself included, are kind of like, stop stealing our stuff, AZ. Whoa, what are we doing out here? But ultimately, I think that the sand color, in fairness, makes a lot more sense for the Arizona Cardinals than it does for us, okay? I love the bone. I don't care what anybody says. That's my favorite uniform the Rams have right now as far as active uniforms go, but it seems like it's phasing out anyway. Probably not going to have that much longer, so whatever, man. I guess I'll just deal with other sick uniforms that we've got up in here, so what can you do? But We do get rivalries uniforms, though, tomorrow. It could be you've already seen them by the time you're seeing this. Pretty sure they're going to be awesome. I'm fired up for them no matter what. It's one of those things, though. It's like, not that the Rams can do no wrong in my brain, but it's like, yo, these are uniforms that represent the Rams. That means they're perfect, man. The same way I feel about the logo, all that stuff. So, quick, how many Rams logos can you spot right now on your screen? The answer's in a billion or infinity. I'll take either one, so that's good news. All right, let's talk about the cuts that have come in. We don't want to talk too much about the cuts, okay? Because I do know, like, obviously, we had cuts, and we want to talk about some of these names for sure. But I'll be honest, I'm a little bit more partial to caring about the 53 that did make it rather than get sad about a bunch of dudes who are on other teams and such. So there could be some information that I am kind of missing here, just depending on timing of when things are coming in, when I'm recording, getting this information out to you. So let's go ahead and talk about them. First and foremost, though, trade, which would have been a cut, but ended up being just a trade, is offensive lineman KT Leviston, Kansas State product, as he came his way to the Rams just last year as a rookie. He has been traded to the Cleveland Browns because they liked what he saw in preseason in P3 is what we'll call it. But in return, getting a 2028 7th-round pick. So we'll forget this happened. We'll be coming up on the 2028 draft and be like, why do we have 2 7s? And be like, Leviston. Oh, yeah. That's going to happen. It's going to be fine. But KT out there, hopefully he gets some more opportunities to just push some dudes around out there, man. That's what offensive linemen like to do. So, you know what? Best of luck to KT and the squad out there and everybody who's gone, honestly. So, let me actually, I didn't write them down on this list, but let me go ahead and pull up our practice squad as I'll kind of hit some of these names as part of that as well. Just pulling up the Rams app here. If you don't have that, get your life together. Got to get that for sure. And where we'd go in, practice squad. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Got the practice squad up. So I'll kind of keep this just for my my notes off to the side here. Because I actually had practice squad possible written next to some of these names, and some of them are practice squad reality now. So starting with AJ Arcuri, offensive lineman, I did put practice squad possible next to him. He is on the practice squad. That's good news. Right below that, same thing with Wyatt Bowles. Got to respect long hairs out here. He is also added to the practice squad. We'll go this list first. So we got AJ Arcuri, Wyatt Bowles on the offensive line, wide receiver True Edwards, hero of the Chargers game. Gotta love that. Cornerback AJ Green, defensive tackle Jack Heflin, safety, the human missile Tanner Engel, cornerback Cam Lampkin, he can pop some people as well. Offensive lineman Dylan McMahon, outside linebacker Jameel Muhammad, inside linebacker Eli Neal, defensive lineman Bill Norton, wide receiver Brennan Presley had that incredible catch setting up the True Edwards go-ahead touchdown against the Chargers in P2, which was rather awesome. Tight end Mark Redmond sticking around, and running backs Ronnie Rivers as well as Cody Shrader are added to the practice squad, and safety Nate Valcarcel added to the practice squad. So that's your practice squad names. Not all of the names that I'm about to talk about have made their way to the Rams practice squad. So that being said, and these are not all the cuts. Not every name is worth a full conversation. And again, I'm more focused on the 53 we do have and the guys who will be sticking around rather than the guys we have unfortunately or fortunately lost, depending on perspective, I suppose. So going down this list here, we'll start with Derion Kendrick. Former starter to a preseason cut after being injured all of last year. What a story that is. An unfortunate pathway for Derion Kendrick has been claimed off of waivers by the Seattle Seahawks. So he's now a rival. He's now dead to us. so DK up there taking reps against Cooper Kupp again as far as practice goes. Brennan Jackson. This was a bit of a surprise cut, as he was just a rookie last year and honestly played really well. I believe he was second in the NFL in the preseason in sacks, so that's pretty awesome there, but has been waived and claimed by the Las Vegas Raiders. Will be rushing quarterbacks alongside Max Crosby. Big name here, big conversation here as far as the Rams social media and internet world goes. Pooh Paul Jr., was cut by the LA Rams. Simply outplayed by Sean Dolak. There's definitely something more to it, okay? So I understand that there's a lot of people like, well, how can we get him back? Sidebar, he already signed to the Seattle Seahawks practice squad. Me and Tuna had talked about it, and it's like maybe there was a situation where it was like, hey, no, go out there, man. Go get on a team, my guy. Like, you're good. The Rams blatantly didn't want this guy. I see a lot of people being like, well, how can we get him back? And it's like, do we want to? It seems like a lot like we don't. It seems a lot like people were saying second-round talent drafted in the 5th round. That's already a bit of a sign of, hey, what's going on with this guy? Then you look at the preseason. I don't know if I said it or not in here, but Dolak was playing better than Pooh Paul. Dolak won the job. If anything, Dolak both won the job and Chris Paul lost the job. So that's a combo there. But I think that we picked the best 4 inside linebackers based on what I saw as far as the preseason goes. It looked like Pooh Paul was, looking just raw out there, which is exactly what we expected. In fairness, I didn't think he was going to get cut. I thought he was going to be a developmental guy. But Sean Brolak coming in here and kicking all the butt cheeks did a better job. Probably going to be active on game days, man. So I ain't mad about it, man. I just want the best 53 on the team. I've like 0 alliances when it comes to the outside stuff. Players come and go. The Rams are forever, dude. So Pooh Paul is now on the practice squad for the Seattle Seahawks. We may play against him one day. Who knows? Wide receiver Brennan Presley, we had mentioned him, added to the practice squad as well as Rivers and Shrader. Charles Woods claimed off of waivers by the New England Patriots, so he's heading out across the country there. A.J. Green, of course, back with us. Willie Lampkin, the 4th. Center. This one did come as a bit of a surprise to me that he did not clear waivers. There is a bit of an unwritten rule in the NFL amongst all the teams that if a player is injured, gets waived, but blatantly that team likes that player and wants him back, you don't claim him. You don't. Philadelphia decided they liked what they saw, and they went ahead and put a claim in on him. Willie Lampkin is now a Philadelphia Eagle. The reason that I'm okay with this is because, first of all, he wasn't going to play for us this year. Maybe he was in the future. Maybe he was going to develop into our starting center years from now. Who knows? All I know is that Coleman Shelton is the starting center and Bo Limmer is the backup. Willie Lampkin came in as a UDFA 3rd stringer on this offensive line. Might as well go somewhere else, my guy. Might as well. That's kind of how I see it. I'm not happy to see him go. He was playing really well. He's got a really good center of gravity. He uses his body really well. He's really strong. He's got it. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the ability to push some dudes around. He was not going to play for us, though. So might as well. And he's not going to go start in Philadelphia. They got a killer offensive line. But he might be able to slip in there as a 2. He's also hurt. So I don't know. I was not an argument, but I was having a discussion with somebody, and I was like, oh yeah, no biggie. I mean, UDFA 3rd stringer, man, no biggie. I like, of course, like, and then it was like kind of snap back at me a little bit of like, yeah, it is a biggie. It is a biggie, man. Like, he's like, he was gonna develop into our starter. Like, yeah, but when? Bo Limmer's probably the next guy in line, right? So are we gonna try to hold Willie Lampkin for 10 years until Bo Limmer decides he's done, or we don't want to re-sign him again, and then he can start? No, obviously not, man. So it makes perfect sense. Go ahead and move. We didn't have a choice, like Philadelphia took him. So best of luck to him, man. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled to see it, and I fully expected that he would clear waivers. In fairness, I was wrong. That happens. But I think that ultimately it's like, yeah, you know what? He was going to be stashed on the practice squad for us. It's like, if he can make an active roster, if you can go be on a 53, go be on a 53. Don't sit on a practice squad of a team who you're not even close to starting for, you know what I mean? So I guess I see it that way. And then Sean Jolly as well, he did clear waivers. No word yet, but he is injured. That was an injury designation there. So those are your cuts, man. Those are like, that's the beef of the cuts. And I'll say that I don't think that I'm not as surprised as some others. I think that like seeing Pooh Paul out there 4th quarter of a preseason game, of your last preseason game, as well as like Derion Kendrick, and like I said it on Tuna and the Sheriff this morning, was that like with Derion Kendrick, it's like, yo, this was a starter, and he was out there with our 3s and 4s going against their 3s and 4s. If you're a starter in the NFL going in, you're on a field full of 3s and 4s, it should be abundantly obvious that you're out there and just destroying everybody. You're flying around, you're popping people, you're intercepting balls. and he just looked like a dude out there. I've been a Derion Kendrick supporter. I've always been a Derion Kendrick fan. I think the kid's awesome. But you know what? Maybe that injury, maybe there's something more to it, man. But I don't know. But either way, he wasn't playing up to it. So you know what I mean? I think that we kept the best corners. I think that we kept the best inside linebackers with Pooh Paul going. I think Brendan Jackson lost out on a numbers game simply because the pass rushers that we did decide to keep, including Nick Hampton, as well as Josiah Stewart, the rookie. We'll talk about the 53-man roster and the guys we did keep here shortly, but I think that overall, I'm not necessarily surprised. 4 tight ends sticking around, that I thought would turn into 3, and we'd keep 4 running backs, especially with the way Cody Shrader played, but that's not the way it shook out, dude. Cody Shrader's still around, though, so may still make some action on a final 48 as we head into the regular season one of these days. But those are your cuts, man. We got our practice squad set up. By the way, it was on Between the Horns that JB Long was mentioning that the term practice squad just doesn't feel right. And I tend to agree. I've always kind of hated that term, the practice squad. It's like, it's kind of lame, you know what I mean? But I think that I said the Iron Squad. And I don't think anybody's really vibing with it. I think it's cool because in my whole mindset on that is the iron sharpens iron. So it's happening all week long. That's the Iron Squad in there, man. They're all the Iron Squad, dude. Everybody's iron here. Dude, we're all iron. We're all Iron Men, okay? All right? Rest in peace, Ozzy. All right? Yeah, that's my idea. I don't know. Maybe you have some. Drop them in the comments below. Also, sidebar. I don't think I talked about this. We had mentioned there was a fan queso a couple weeks ago where somebody asked to fit personalities of players with myself, Peo, Rams House, and Tuna. I gave them all answers, and then I was supposed to give myself one, and I couldn't think of one. And then Rams House said Kobe Durant. And I'm so mad that I didn't think of that because, like, that makes total sense. I feel like me and Kobe Durant have very similar personality types. We'd probably have a great time, dude. We'd probably have an awesome... Kobe, let's hang out, man. Let's just... I don't know, man. Let's just go to, like... something... I don't know. Let's go to Cosm and catch some college ball or something, dude. We'd be sick. It'd be sick. All right, 53-man roster. We'll talk about it right on the other side of this break. It is Rams Showcase. Rams Showcase. I am Sheriff Joe Baggs. The LA Rams have their final 53-man, I'll say initial 53-man roster. Who knows what's going to happen, man? No waiver claims put in by the Rams, or at least I have not seen if there was any claims put in. Rams were not awarded any waiver claims, I think is the proper way to say that right now, because I don't know if any claims were put in. I don't think so, but the Rams are also like 26th, I think, in the waiver order, so it would make sense that even if they did try to get some names that they just didn't have an opportunity, as that's the way it goes, dude. So 53 men are still remaining on this roster. And I think that the numbers of each position are like kind of exactly what you would do if you were like just like running a Madden team and didn't really know what numbers to put where. You know what I mean? Like this would be like the basic layout. It kind of feels like nothing crazy as far as like not keeping like 8 wideouts or anything like that. So let's go over the list here. 3 quarterbacks sticking around as expected. Matthew Stafford, number 9. Jimmy Garoppolo, number 11. That's how many days away we are from kickoff. Fired up about it. And Stetson Bennett, 13, is holding down the quarterback room. Obviously, we do expect that Stetson will probably be in street clothes for a large majority of the games as long as Stafford is healthy. But I like having these guys on the bench, dude. I'm not mad that Jimmy Garoppolo and Stetson Bennett is our depth at quarterback. Best case scenario, we don't need them. Those guys don't throw any footballs this year. We have no use for them. They ultimately wither away and get wasted on the sideline. That's the goal. Because if we get to Stetson Bennett, tragedies have happened. You know what I mean? We don't want to see Stetson Bennett because that means bad things have happened. I'm not opposed to seeing Stetson Bennett play quarterback for the Rams this year. He does look like he's improved. I think that Sean McVay could put together a game plan that would allow Stetson Bennett to score points. And especially with this defense, put up 17, 20 points a game. We're in it at the very minimum. So that I do like. But Matthew Stafford is the guy, obviously. It is a drop-off from Stafford to Garoppolo. You can fight me on that if you need to. But It is a drop off, and Matthew Stafford, as long as he's our guy, I think that we're in any game this season. So that's good news. 3 running backs sticking on the roster. We got Kyron Williams, K-Dub off that brand new contract. Blake Corum, second-year guy out of Michigan. Jarquez Hunter out of Auburn as well. He is the rookie. So those are the 3 that are holding it down at the running back spot. I would anticipate that all 3 of these guys will be active on game days, and that could turn into some kind of like punt return or kick returner kind of situation. I think X will take on punt return totally, but I do anticipate that all 3 of these guys will be game day actives. Tight end is the first position grouping that we see some tells, I think, in what the Rams would potentially like to do this season. That is Tyler Higbee, Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen, and Terrence Ferguson, the rookie top pick out of Oregon this year for the LA Rams. This grouping here, keeping 4, I think tells us that it's not impossible we see some 12, maybe even some 13 personnel this season. It's also not impossible that we see 12 personnel, but with Terrence Ferguson in the slot, or 11 with Terrence Ferguson in the slot, allowing that flexibility where we can come out in an 11, and then, then we can motion Ferguson in and make it a 12, or vice versa, you know what I mean? Opposite of that. So I really like this combo. These guys are all awesome. Davis Allen, we're hearing that as far as camp goes, he's looking really solid this year. It seems like the things are kind of slowing down a little bit more for him. Colby Parkinson, obviously year 2 for the LA Rams. We're hoping to see a little bit more comfortability in the Rams offense, but we know Tyler Higbee. The Rams offense ran better as a whole as soon as Tyler Higbee returned. And then Terrence Ferguson, man, he fits exactly what we're doing. All indications are that Ferguson is going to have at least a solid rookie season. So excitement is warranted when it comes to these weapons. If you look at the running back group, the tight end group, and now the wide receiver group, where the Rams are keeping 6, which is fully expected. I kind of anticipated that possibly a 7 would slip in there with somebody coming in to stick around as far as a returner goes. I thought that maybe Britton Covey had a shot at taking that job. I don't know how close he got. He did get cut, not returned to the practice squad. But we're dealing with Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington. Those are your top 4. Fully anticipate that we'll see those 4 will be who we see the bulk of. And then we got Xavier Smith coming in. I mean, obviously, this year 3. He's just developing and developing and developing. Gotta love to see that. Gonna be a returner, man. We'll get to say X gonna give it to you a bunch of times, so that's good news, man. And then Konate Mumpfield, the rookie wide receiver as well, who honestly, I mean, he looks so good. I think that the ability that he brings is rather solid. So the weaponry of this offense, I think, is absolutely exciting, man. There's nothing to be like sad about. Even on Between the Horns, they went through each position group, and if you can list a position group of the Rams roster that got worse from last year, I'd like to hear your argument, because I truly think that all of them got better. And that does include the ones where there were no changes, such as quarterback, no changes. I do think it's better, though. Jimmy Garoppolo, he took all those reps with the ones for the bulk of the season. So that's good news there, that you feel like he's at least very comfortable. If he needed to come in and start, he knows those guys now. He's been practicing with them. And then Stetson Bennett, I think that we saw a clear jump from last year to this year in his abilities to kind of read through a defense and make those decisions on the fly, rolling out, throwing the ball away instead of forcing it like I think he would have done last year. So that's good news there. But the wide receiver room, I think it's better than last year. I know some people are arguing that the Cooper Kupp to Devontae Adams is not an improvement. I think it is. I think that that 21 season kind of skews we see that season through royal and soul glasses. You know what I mean? So, and for good reason. It's one of the best wide receiver seasons that have ever happened. So, not to take anything away from Cooper Kupp, but I think that ultimately Cooper Kupp is more of an 800 to 1,000 yard receiver, while Devontae Adams is more of like the 12 to 1,500 yard receiver, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I also think we got better in the red zone with this move as well. So, love the wide receiver room. That's just such a killer grouping. I mean, can't really go wrong with it, honestly. It's so sick in there. On the offensive line, keeping 10, which I think is solid, especially got that stuff with A.J. Jackson going on the left tackle. But your starting 10, your starting 5 is A.J. Jackson, Steve Avila, Coleman Shelton making his return to the Rams. Kevin Dotson and Rob Havenstein, the vet, the St. Louis Ram, man. He's the last one remaining. That's pretty cool stuff. And then our depth, DJ Humphries, David Quessenberry, both those guys can play left tackle if we need them to. Bo Limmer, backup center. Justin Dedich, backup interior. Warren McClendon, who's got versatility. He can also play at left tackle if we needed him to, but we got the versatility with the depth as well. Love to see it. Bo Limmer is very much just a center, but also kind of Coleman Shelton is as well. So I like it, though. I like that we're our center, the shot callers in the middle there. I think that's a good thing, kind of does let them focus on that. And then everybody else seems pretty flexible. I mean, we know that Steve can move around. Dotson could if we needed him to, but then Humphries, Quessenberry, Dedich, and McClendon, those guys can play multiple spots as well. So that's absolutely good news. Love this offensive line, especially if A.J. Jackson is healthy and ready to go. This offensive line is absolutely awesome. It's a brick wall in front of Matthew Stafford, which obviously you can't go wrong with. Flipping over to the defensive side, let's start with the defensive line, where the Rams are keeping Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Braden Fisk, Tyler Davis, Larrell Murchison, Desjuan Johnson, and Ty Hamilton is the rookie sticking around. So Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Braden Fisk, we anticipate that they will be getting the largest majority of the reps there. Don't sleep on Tyler Davis, though, man. I've been pounding the table on Tyler Davis since last year. I like his get-off. I like his first move. I think he's a really good player. I just think he's kind of buried in what is just a killer group here. Poona Ford, Kobe Turner, absolute monsters out here. Larrell Murchison and Desjuan Johnson. I like these guys as well because they've got a lot of flexibility. In a situation where we would absolutely need them to, we could absolutely slip those guys to outside linebacker, let them rush from the edge as well. That's totally reasonable. Ty Hamilton coming in as well. We'll see what he can bring. I would imagine that he would be kind of a game day inactive, but could slip in there from time to time, depending on the matchup. So I think that's good news. But Poona Ford coming in is your big run stuffer. Gotta love to see that, man. So hopefully the run defense is greatly improved from the Rams. There's another name that we'll talk about here in just a moment as far as the run defense goes. But Poona Ford, a big addition to that. Kobe Turner gets a chance to, sing some sweet, sweet music and destroy the lives of quarterbacks, because that's what we love to do around these parts, all right? Outside linebacker, keeping Jared Verse, V8s, Byron Young, BY, Nick Hampton, number 6, change of a number this year, and Josiah Stewart is the rookie coming into this grouping. Just the 4 we're sticking with here. We have seen the Rams typically go with at least 5 in years past, so that is something of note. But like I said, Larrell Murchison, Desjuan Johnson can absolutely slip in there and stand up as an edge rusher if necessary, if needed, or if the package calls for it. You know what I mean? It could be like a 3rd and 2 situation. We're kind of anticipating a possible run, so we want a bigger body in there or something like that. And, kind of mix it up that way. So Jared Verse, though, we're kind of hearing that some stuff about that he's been working on, such as more speed moves. We know he's got one of the meanest bull rushes in the entire NFL already. As a rookie, he had one of the meanest bull rushes in the entire NFL. He's making dudes retire out here. And now we're hearing that he's adding some speed to that game. And if you remember some names out there from NFL's past, combining that speed and that power, not letting that offensive lineman know what you're bringing to the table, can spell disaster. And I'm speaking specifically of Dwight Freeney, where he could absolutely just run straight through you, destroy your life that way, or he could pretend he's going to spin out of there, stuff like that. Man, you gotta love to see it. So I think Jared Verse is in line for a really, really good season this year. I'm so fired up to see what he brings. Byron Young, we're under the impression that he's been working on stuff like his stamina and being able to stay out there, which could also play into the fact that the Rams only keeping 4 in this slot. So that's cool news as well. Nick Hampton, I really liked what I was seeing from Nick Hampton. Even as I was doing my rewatch of the season of last year, when he came in, he was impacting plays. And that's really all you want, right? At least from a young guy who's still learning. Just get in there, man. Mess with it. Make this guy run this way instead of that way. You know what I mean? Don't let them do whatever they want to do. You tell them where to go. You know what I mean? And Nick Hampton's certainly doing that, man. And he was getting after the pass rusher, definitely getting his hands up there and stuff like that. Love to see it. Excited to also see what Josiah Stewart can bring to the defensive front there and pass rush. At inside linebacker, obviously we do know Pooh Paul Jr. is not going to be sticking around. He is now a rival, so he's dead to us. He's a Seahawk. I'll make the rules. Nate Landman. This one was a name that I feel like I've been trying to hammer for many, many months. As soon as he came over to the Rams, I was fired up about it, and kind of studying more about him. It was like, oh, this is a move. Like, this is not getting enough credit. I think it is now. I think that a lot of people are talking about Nate Landman. I love to see it, man. I'm not trying to be like I did it. I'm not trying to hipster Nate Landman hype, okay? I'm excited that other people are also seeing it now. He deserves it, dude. He's brand new to us, man. He's got a mustache. Everybody I know with mustaches is super, super cool. You gotta love to see it, man. Omar Spates coming in year 2. He is expected to be the starter alongside Nate, so you gotta love that. Bromar Spates gets to go home again as well. Week 3 will be back at home. I'm sure a lot of his family will all be there and stuff like that as the Rams taking on the Eagles. I know his sister tweeted that she's like already prepping her game day fit for week 3. He's like, yeah, hell yeah. It's the same, dude. Same. I'm not even going to be there, though, but same. I would never go to the Eagles Stadium. Not as the opponent, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe one day. But Omar Spates, Bromar Spates out here. He's, of course, being your starter. Troy Reeder is sticking around, and I think that obviously we know the social media stuff about Troy Reeder and the comments made about Troy Reeder and all that stuff. What I'll say about Troy, man, is he certainly knows this team. He certainly knows this playbook, and I think that he's kind of kept around not to just be an inside linebacker, and I think that Sean McVay is very much like, dude, we're not trying to make him our number one guy at inside linebacker. He's great on special teams, though. And he is. And I think that we also need a veteran presence in that world, in setting up to try to block a punt. We need somebody to kind of be that guy there. We need somebody on a field goal block attempt, you know what I mean? So I think it makes perfect sense that Troy Reeder sticks around. I do anticipate him having pads and helmets on Sundays, dude, because he's a special teams guy. And then Sean Brolak coming in, the rookie, taking over the number 56. I mean, he just came in playing really, really good ball. I think he picked up the defense really well. He's flying around. In the preseason games, it seemed like when he was on the field, he was at the end of every play. Can't be mad at that. So I would say with Sean Dolak, I think that he outperformed Pooh Paul. And if you want to care about how you got to the Rams in draft position and all that stuff, we can just pretend Sean Dolak was the 5th round pick, right? Inside linebacker for inside linebacker. We only kept 6 rookies. The only drafted rookie being Pooh Paul, not sticking around. We can just pretend, right? Can we just do that? We can just pretend Sean Dolak's 5th round pick, LA Rams. And also, fun note for the inside linebacker room, every single one of these guys, all 4 of them, UDFAs. None of these guys were drafted by any NFL team, but we welcome them in here, man. You're cool here, guys. Go out and kill some people, man. So that's good stuff, dude. Corners. We got Darius Williams sticking around, D. Will, Akello Witherspoon, Kobe Durant, Emmanuel Forbes Jr. switching to number 1, by the way, vacated by Derion Kendrick, and Josh Wallace. Darius Williams, Akello Witherspoon, Kobe Durant, and Emmanuel Forbes. I think that Josh Wallace is the only one I don't anticipate having like a real heavy role. I do think that we see him, just as long as he sticks around on the roster. He is a name where I kind of feel like he's closer to that 53rd slot than not. So if the Rams do see a player that they want to make a move for, I don't think it's impossible that Josh Wallace could be on the way out. I also think that like Justin Dedich, he would be another one as far as a numbers game goes if we needed a slot to bring somebody in that we really liked. But the good news is on Akello Witherspoon, we heard it from DFAR on Between the Horns. He said he's just a different guy this year. It looks like the game is slowed down. He's flying around out there. That's good news. Emmanuel Forbes Jr., kind of built like Spider-Man. Gotta love that. This dude, I'm fired up for Emmanuel Forbes Jr. If there is one guy, if I had one slot to say breakout player performance or potential for this year, it's Emmanuel Forbes Jr. It feels like he could, by the end of the season, be one of our top guys. That's good news. So we'll just see. Like, and everybody talks about how skinny he is, stuff like that. First of all, what's wrong with that? Second of all, as long as you can play football, man, it doesn't matter, man. Just he's flying around out there. He's quick. He got great change of pace. He reads the ball well. So nothing bad to say about Emmanuel Forbes Jr. Now rocking number 1, too. You don't wear number 1 unless you're dope. Those are the rules, I think. Those are the rules. And sticking in at safety, Quentin Lake, Cam Curl, Cam Kinchins, and Jalen McCullough. I'm trying to remember what Jalen McCullough's nickname was. I want to say it was like Bash or something like that. I really don't remember, and I'm sad about it. I'm sure it'll come back. I'm sure somebody will say it, and then I'll be like, oh, yeah, dang it. But Jalen McCullough, UDFA last year, sticking around. Gotta love to see that. Cam Kinchins had that super long. He was just destroying Geno Smith in the red zone last year in that game in Seattle, man. That was absolutely awesome. Cam Curl, who I think is in a position to have a bit of a breakout year as well with the Rams. And then Quentin Lake, who is just all over the place. He can play anywhere in the secondary. So gotta love to see that. I do anticipate a little bit more growth from him this year. Anticipating like a captain patch. We'll hopefully see those soon. We'll talk about them as soon as we get them, of course, on the following episode. If I had to guess who I'm giving captain patches to, it's Quentin Lake. It's probably Kobe Turner, maybe Jared Verse. If I want to go 3 on defense, then Stafford, probably Puka, and maybe Kyron, or maybe Higbee, or maybe Havenstein. That's a tough one, but the players vote on the Rams captains, so we'll see what happens there. And then special teams as well. So obviously I love the secondary. I think all those guys are really, really good football players. I think that the secondary doesn't get enough love right now, but I think it will. By the time we get to about the bye week, I think it'll be one of those where it's like, oh no, this secondary is actually pretty sick, dude. They're flying all over the place, so that's good news. And then your special teamers sticking around again. We got Josh Carty on Wayne, Ethan Evans, who's going to kick the ISS out of the sky one day. Absolutely. He's going to kick the moon out of our orbit. He's going to hit it with a football one day. Dude, he's got such a leg. It's absolutely absurd. My punter could for sure beat up your punter. That's 1,000%. And then Alex Ward for president, dude. So we never hear Alex Ward's name, and that's beautiful. You don't want to hear Alex Ward's name, right? If the commentators are talking about Alex Ward, probably something tragic happened. All right, so we don't want to hear about you, Alex. All right, we just know that you're out there killing it, especially if you're just the silent killer out there, dude. That's what we need. Alex Ward, though, he kills it, man. He gets that football to Ethan Evans in any setting. Good things are gonna happen, man. So it goes from Ward to Ethan to somebody's foot, whether that's Ethan or Josh, and then that football, dude. Ethan Evans, by the way, man, Ethan Evans. The football has a family, man. Show some respect for that thing. One's gonna explode one day. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm seeing the same thing everybody else is seeing, but the way he boots that thing, I just feel like one day it's gonna be total football, and we're just gonna see like a puff of smoke, and then they're gonna have to figure out how to do that. It's like, do you just replay down? I guess I don't know. We need a new ball though. Ethan Evans destroyed ours, which is good news. And then we'll talk about some familiar names here before we get over to our fan quesos. Familiar names who were cut around the league. I have not looked to see if any of these guys have been picked up. This is just a list. And in fairness, I may have missed people. This is just me scrolling down the list and looking for names I recognize. That's my process. Jordan Fuller, man, cut by the Atlanta Falcons. That was like, dang, man. Jordan Fuller, my guy, got his jersey sitting in my closet over here, man. Jordan Fuller for president, got a picture with him and all this stuff, man. Jordan Fuller, though, out in Atlanta, free agent. Russ Yeast out in Houston, Rams' first opponent. Terrell Burgess, another former safety for the Rams. He's out from the New Orleans Saints. Quintez Cephas spent a short time with the Rams, didn't really participate with the Rams, but was on our roster. Houston Texans cut him. Connor McDermott from the Houston Texans as well. Seemed like they were just gathering intel, huh? They're just gathering intel on us for week 1, and then they're like, all right, get out. Robert Woods, Bobby Trees, man. He is a free agent from Pittsburgh. The Steelers dropped him, added him to the practice squad, which, man, that's crazy, man. Robert Woods is a practice squad player. Bring Bobby home, dude, man. That's crazy to me that Robert Woods is sitting on a practice squad. We talking about practice squad? That's crazy to me, man. But Bobby Trees out there, man, nothing but the absolute most pinnacle respect for Robert Woods and all that he's done, man. Cam Akers, former Cam Akers from the Saints, he's being cut there. Lance McCutcheon, Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver. He scored in their final preseason game. He was cut there. Bryce Perkins, Percules, cut by the Carolina Panthers. Brett Rippon, cut by the Minnesota Vikings. Morgan Fox, Colorado kid. He actually was from where I live. Fountain, Colorado, which is just Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's the same thing as like Inglewood's just LA, right? Do we feel that way? I don't know. I feel that way about like Denver. Like it's like Aurora, Broomfield, all this. It's all Denver. Like who cares? You know what I mean? But Fountain is one of those of Colorado Springs. That's where he grew up, played high school there. CSU Pueblo down the road is where he played his college ball, and then spent time with the Rams. So Morgan Fox cuts from Atlanta, and then as well as Atlanta on the offensive side, Nikola Kalinic, tight ends, cut by the Falcons as well. And then the only other former Ram-related news, because I didn't even look to see if any of these guys got picked up anywhere. I just got home from work and then pretty much hit record. But Carson Wentz signs with the Minnesota Vikings after they trade Sam Howell to the Philadelphia Eagles. Sam Howell was certainly a quarterback the Rams were looking at. Actually did make an attempt to trade for him before Seattle got him, and then he went over to Minnesota, now with the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think we wanted him that bad. Feels like between all these teams bouncing around, we probably could have snagged him if we really wanted him. But Carson Wentz, former Rams backup, is signing with the Vikings to fill in that gap. That's your 53-man roster, man. That's what we're talking about. Your initial 53-man roster. We'll see if there's any changes before next week's episode. We'll, of course, talk about them. And then next week, we also got our full game preview. First full game preview of the season, the 25 season. Your 25 LA Rams looking like a damn good football team per that 53 that we just talked about. Not a weak spot on the team. I'll be completely honest. If I had to try to pick out a weak spot, I wouldn't, because these guys are awesome. Fan quesos, that's headed your way right after this break. It's Ram Showcase. Welcome back in. This is Ram Showcase. My name is Sheriff Joe Bags. If you're just joining us, why? Why would you start a podcast in the middle? That's so weird. Anyway, fan quesos, we're going to start over on the Facebook page. First, however many. I don't know how many there are here. I haven't read these yet. Excuse me. First few coming from Edwin. Emphasis on the win. Says, can't wait for the Rams to take the field. Finally, football season is back. Just got a Verse jersey for my birthday. Hell yeah, that's so sick. So that's going to be my game day fit for our first game. What's yours? Dude, I don't know yet. I'm waiting for uniform schedule to come out. I try to somewhat kind of, like, if the Rams are in white, I'll probably rock something like this. You know what I mean? Like, that definitely is a regular thing for me. If the Rams are in royal, I try to rock something like that. But I also try to mix it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I've got enough, like, Ram stuff to not double up anything all year. Like, hat and shirt, I could wear a different stuff all season long and not repeat. But there's also some stuff that I have that is so dope. Gotta wear it as much as I can, you know what I mean? Also got my Bone shirt, so, like, that's one of my favorite ones. That shirt has been to so many places. It's been to SoFi a few times. It's been in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yeah, that thing's awesome. I love that one. So that's one of my good luck ones for sure. But let's see here for dude, and also Verse jersey, sick, dude. That's awesome, man. Verse is my guy, man. That's so cool. Let's see here. So yeah, I guess that first one was it, but I don't know yet. Again, I got to wait for the uniform schedule to come out. Hopefully we'll get it by I would imagine we'll get it by next week. I imagine we're waiting for the rivalries uniforms to drop before we can drop a uniform schedule. I mean, we know what we're wearing for the rivalries, but they like to do graphics and stuff, so I'm sure that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on official announcement, I'm sure. But let's see here. What game are you looking forward to the most this season? Ooh, that's that Philly game in week 3. I've definitely had that one on my sights since before the schedule was even out. It was like, we're in Philly. That game. That's the one. You know what I mean? Obviously, any division game I'm absolutely fired up for. The Niners, I hate that we get them on a Thursday because I love the buildup of a Niners-Rams game. So it's unfortunate that Niners week is going to be that week, at least the first one. Week 5 is going to be just a couple of days. We get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to kind of build up to it, and then it's game day already. So that's kind of unfortunate. I'm not a fan of Thursday games. I don't like that they're every week now. I think that if you give us football every day, then it makes it less You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The more you give us, the less it matters each time, if that makes any sense. I like the exclusiveness of it, of like we gotta wait all week, dude. Like, I don't know. There's something about that. That's why I have a harder time with like basketball, baseball, stuff like that. Go Rockies, by the way. It's not good. It's not good. So close to the playoffs this year, already eliminated. But they were on pace for 27 wins, and they're already close to 40, so that's good. Right? It's not good. Anyway, but yeah, that game against Philly is probably the one that I've been most fired up for all offseason. And as soon as the schedule came out, I was like bummed because it's like an early kickoff, week 3, and it's like, dude, obviously it's a primetime matchup. What are we doing over here? But hey, it is what it is, man. We can't decide when the games are played. We just got to show up when they tell us to and kick the butt cheeks off of some people. You know what I mean? So that's all we can do. What player gets the first touchdown for the Rams against Houston? I will say this as a disclaimer. I don't care. I also hate fantasy football because I don't care who scores. I don't care if it's Puka Nacua or Devontae Adams. The fact that it's one of them is awesome with me. I don't care if our first touchdown comes from Jarquez Hunter or Davis Allen. You know what I mean? Like, remember that segment back in the day on ESPN? They'd be like, that helps no one. And it's like, it helped the Rams, dude. Like, I remember Sean Hill threw a touchdown pass to Daniel Fells. Throwback. And and that made that helps no one. And it was like, what are you talking? That Rams took the lead on that play, dog. That helped us. Like, shut up about it, man. Like, I don't care about your fantasy football team. I don't care about my fantasy football team. So why would I care about anybody else's? You know what I mean? Like, as long as the Rams win, I don't care. 3-0 every game. Don't care. We're winning. That's Rams wins are all I care about. As long as the people scoring the touchdowns are wearing Rams uniforms, then I'm happy. You know what I mean? I don't care. But to answer your question, because I'm not a jerk, I think it's going to be Kyren Williams. I feel like the Rams have like a really good opening drive and just kind of matriculate down the field. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that that's going to be the case. I think we're going to be averaging 7, 8, 9 yards a pop on that first drive. I feel really good about it. And then go down and put it in on like a Kyren Williams like 6-yard touchdown run, something like that. He's going to find a little hole in there, get some patience in there, be like, ooh, stutter, and then hit a gap. And then go do one of those, and then probably get the football to his mom. Hopefully, that's I love seeing that. That's so cool. So absolutely love it. But I'm gonna go with K-Dub, feeling fresh off that contract and all that stuff. Gotta love it, man. What would be easier, doing a workout with AD or doing a punt return for a touchdown in a regular season game? Obviously, it's the AD thing, man. It says, why is working out with AD harder? It's like you knew, dude. Yeah, because first of all, I like to watch like those like physical shows, you know, like Physical 100. I thought that was really cool. The Squid Game one was all right. That was pretty cool. Final Draft is the newer one that's on Netflix. I like that one a lot. That was really cool. And it's always one of those things where it's like on the very first competition, it's like I would be throwing up and dead by now. It's and they're like 25% of the way in and stuff like that. And then on that like Final Draft one, they're doing those sit-ups, dude. And I was like, I would have done 4, and they're like, I can't. And then the dude did like 500 or so. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. So I'm like super impressed by that stuff. That absolutely blows my mind. But the Aaron Donald one, man, like the way that like even Jared Verse, who is a physical specimen, man, who is an athletic freak, is like getting murdered by an AD workout. No thanks, dude. I'll take my chances on a punt return and trying to weave my way through all these guys trying to take my absolute head off, then try to lift with Aaron Donald. First of all, Exhibit A, dude. I ain't hanging, all right? Man, I could probably, though, get small and wiggle through some stuff, and maybe I get through there enough and get some good blocks or something like that. But I'm definitely going with the punt return for a touchdown. I ain't working with AD, dude. There's no way. I'm with Jared Verse. Call the police, dude. Call the police. This is not okay. Security. Let's see here. I haven't read any of these questions on the YouTube, as my father would call it. But we're just going to go down the list here. First one coming from Rams House. Whose house? Overall excitement level for the Rams rivalry uniforms dropping tomorrow, the 28th. Dude, probably, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 100, I'm at like a good 97, dude. I am so fired up about these, especially that new teaser little video we got where it looks like they are. I don't want an all navy. I like navy on navy. I'm not a fan of when jersey matches the pants. but this is a different thing. It's a rivalries uniform, similar like the Color Rush, stuff like that. I thought the Color Rush jersey, the yellow, would have looked so sick with like a white pant or even a blue pant. But either way, it didn't happen. But with the Navy, I think I'm pretty sure rivalries, I'm pretty sure all of them will be one color. Maybe. That's what I'm anticipating, is that they'll do jersey and pants will be same color. But yeah, I'm absolutely fired up for it, dude. Anytime we get some new uniforms, some new swag out there, I love it, man. So I think it's really cool. It's cool too to kind of know and kind of confirm in some ways on like graphics and the way that like the schedule of the rivalries came out and it was Navy and stuff like that. It's cool to know that we were rocking with a Navy uniform, that we get that back into our lives. So yeah, there's nothing to not be excited about. I'm sure they look so dope, dude. I'm so excited to see them. Maybe again, by the time you're seeing this, you've already seen them and I've already seen them, but I'm talking to you from the past. You know what I mean? So this Joe doesn't know. That Joe might. So hit him up. He might. He might. I don't know what he knows. If I knew what he knew, then I would be just telling you right now. So, but I can't because I don't know. Next one here from Payo Time. Rams therapy session. Could you just nerd out about Quentin Lake for a bit? Hell yeah. Says, I feel like he gets no love as a top-tier safety in the NFL. I know it's a hard position to stand out in today's game. True. But I really appreciate what he brings to the team. Thanks. Love the show. Thank you. Yeah, dude. So Quentin Lake, Q Lake, Captain Q, he, I just, his swag, I think it just leaks into the rest of the defense, man. He flies around all over the place. He's not getting all the interceptions and stuff like that, but he is like I don't want to say conductor because that's not him, you know what I mean? But he is like the orchestrator of like just getting people, the whole secondary as well, just in the right place. The way that he's working with Aubrey Pleasant and kind of being an extension of that Aubrey Pleasant brain onto the field, I think is definitely not something to understate. I think that only some of us in the Rams, even media world out here, truly hype Quentin Lake the way that he deserves to be hyped. And if you're looking for Quentin Lake hype, obviously Tuna is your guy. I mean, he is so high on Quentin Lake for good reason, because he's such a good player, an incredible dude, an incredible leader on this defense. So there's nothing bad to say about Quentin Lake. I know you're in that grouping as well. I believe Rams House is as well. We all love Quentin Lake, man, but it feels like the average regular, I don't want to say regular or whatever like that. It's not supposed to be derogatory, but maybe the fan that doesn't dive as far in as we do, maybe they look at Quentin Lake as just like, yeah, he's good. You know what I mean? But like when you start watching some all 22s and start watching him fly around the field, it's like, oh, no, this guy's different. Like he's just a different kind of beast. And I think that the reason he's not getting all the turnovers, stuff like that, is because he's all over the place in the secondary and he's taking other things away, opening up stuff for other people to make some plays. So yeah, nothing bad to say about Captain Q, man. And hopefully we get the Quentin Lake show more this year, man, because that was really, really cool to see him kind of interacting and hosting the show with his teammates. So I absolutely love that. And fully anticipate that Quentin Lake, after playing, which hopefully is not for a long time, fully anticipate that he takes over in some kind of media world, probably bounces right across the street there into the NFL Network studio right by SoFi, or is in the Rams media world, similar to like a DFAR MJD kind of thing. I think that absolutely is his path post-playing. Hopefully he sticks around and plays his entire career with the Rams, because nothing bad to say about the dude. He's absolutely awesome. Next one here from Payo Time. Hypothetical situation. All right. Hypothetical. Kelly Stafford contacts you. Love it already. That's cool. To ask for help planning Matthew Stafford's next birthday party. She asks you to plan the whole thing, and money is no object. What kind of party do you plan for QB1? How big or small would you go? Location, overall vibe? All right, so knowing, not personally, but like understanding who QB1 is, this can't be a big deal. This can't go big. We can't go crazy on this one. I'm looking for something low-key. We're probably trying to rent out the Rams draft house on Redondo up on Airbnb, by the way. I definitely want to do that someday. It's out there. It's really cool. Excuse me. But we'll probably do something like that. Invite the regulars as far as the teammates go and stuff like that. But I would say outside of that, it's just going to be a low-key night, man. Music's on low. We're just chatting, cocktails. We're not like shotgunning beers and stuff like that. We're making some cocktails. We got a bartender over there and stuff like that. Just having a cool, chill time, you know what I mean? So it feels like that's what he would want, and I wouldn't want to throw a party that he shows up to and is like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? He's like he's an old guy. He's 3 years older than I am, but he's got 4 kids and stuff like that, man. It just feels like he's just more of like, I just want to hang out with my good friends, have a good time, and just chill. So that's what we would do. Money, no objects. So, so we could definitely get that draft house. That's for sure. We saw that on Airbnb and it was like, yo, what? That's sick. But it's a little out of our price range either way. But yeah, that's definitely what we'd go with there. Let's see here. Rams house. What would it be like grocery shopping with Cody Turner? Ooh. Cody is much healthier than I am. I feel like he would be the one, like, it would look weird to other people because, like, you got this big dude defensive, D tackle of a NFL team, and you'd have me being like, can we get this? And he'd be like, that's filled with sugar and disgusting stuff. Like, no, we gotta be smart about this, man. Get this as a snack instead or something. And he pulls out like pumice or whatever. Pumice? I don't know. That stuff tastes terrible. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it's called. It deserves to be called the wrong name. It tastes terrible. Get the crap out of here. You eat that. You're bad. I don't know what that means. But I feel like that's how it would go. It'd be like, I would be like picking up like Little Debbie's. And I'm like, can we get some of this, Kobe? And he'd be like, no. And yeah, it would look funny. I thought me and Kobe could put together a real sweet sitcom though. We would be a funny sitcom, man. We could play we could make the intro song. That'd be cool. Kobe and Sheriff. There's something there. I don't know. Next one here from Rams house. Let's say Tuna retires from Tuna and the Sheriff. Oh no. However, he allows you to take any Ram, past or present, to be the host of Tuna and the Sheriff for the rest of the season. What Ram do you pick and why? I selfishly go with Torrey Holt. And the reason that I go with Torrey Holt, it's a name that I don't feel like I hype as much as like guys like Marshall and stuff like that, because Marshall Faulk was the reason I got into football in general. The way that he ran, that was just so exciting to me. It drew me to the game. And then that's ultimately how I'm here. It's all started as like an 8-year-old being like, that guy's cool. and now look at me. It's crazy how it happens. But I think I would go Torrey Holt, and I think I would just because he would have such a different perspective on things that I'm asking for and asking about. I would love that perspective. Torrey Holt was also, when I went to high school and decided to play football, Torrey Holt was, I was in high school like 06 to 09. That was like my range there. And Torrey Holt was the guy that I was watching leading into that. And he was just the guy. So Torrey Holt, for my money, he was it. So he was the reason I wanted to be a wide receiver. He's the reason I did play wide receiver. I was like 9th string. What up? Get at me. Do some stuff, man. Create some separation. I don't want to throw a boat, create some separation without making it look obvious. You know what I mean? As a 9th string, 5'2" wide receiver my sophomore year, I was able to wiggle some stuff out. You know what I mean? Corner as well is what I played, but I was so slow. I remember one time I got absolutely cooked by the kicker on a drill, and I was like, I want to play offense only, please. And they were like, no. Like, you're not even good at that, dude. So now I talk about the Rams. I talk about football. What up? So that's cool. But yeah, it would be Torrey Holt. I got weird there. But I would say Torrey Holt would be my pick there. And I would say every single time, I'd be like, let me see the hands. And it'd be all, you know? So every time. Next one here from Rams house. How many fumbles does Nate Landman force this season? Dude, I don't know, like 1 billion? Dude, he's got that punch, man. That's so sick to see, man. He's for sure, week 1, he's getting one from Nick Chubb, dude. So Mixon's not playing. Nick Chubb's going to freaking get that ball punched out of his grip, man. It's going to be awesome. And then I don't know who's going to pick it up yet. Probably BY. That's my guess. That's my official guess. Joe Stradamus coming in hot. But yeah, dude, that's going to be, I think, like, if he averages one every other game, that's so many. But I do think that it could be like where he gets to like 11, 12, 13, where we're looking at where it's like in a situation where it's like Rams need a turnover here, but they're only running the ball. Nate, need you, my guy. Need the stash, man. Need the stash punch out here. So absolutely love that. So yeah, I think that he's going to be doing some really sick stuff here. Payo, what would need to happen for this 2025 team to go down as the greatest Rams team ever? Dude, it's crazy you brought this up because I've already been kind of feeling like not to like say anything. I don't want to say anything, but it is like looking at this roster of like, I think Kevin Demoff was on to something that this might be our most talented team that we've had since returning to LA. I mean, and we've been to 2 Super Bowls, you know what I mean? So I would say to have this be what we would consider the best Rams team ever, we would need to, first of all, beat all those teams that we need to beat. Philly, Baltimore, like all of our ones, everybody who's like a top team that we're playing because we won the division, beat all those guys. Obviously, you have to win the Super Bowl if you're going to call yourself the best team, because then that 21 team was absolutely loaded as well, and we could be like, well, they finished. You know what I mean? So like that's a notch there. I would say beating a team like Washington in the playoffs would be something to do. There's so many, and not just beating these teams, like going to Baltimore and beating them by like 17. Going Philadelphia week 1 and it's like 42-13. Like that's where it would be like, oh no, this is the best team we've ever seen. Like this is crazy. But I don't think it's impossible. And I also think that it just kind of depends on how you end and how the vibe is and stuff like that. But I think it's just, even in close games where it just doesn't feel, and I run so much off of feel and vibes and energies and stuff like that. Because there's certain games where they're really close, but it's like, oh no, we're not going to lose this game. Like it just feels good. Like we're playing really good. Sure, it's a 4-point game, but we're just playing so much better than them. We're probably going to win. Whatever. That's a real thing. In a 4-point game, you can't say you beat up on somebody or something like that. It's like, yeah, we kicked your butts. You know, it's like 4-point game, relax. But there is games where it's like a 3, 4, 6-point game where it's like, oh no, we were not going to lose that. We ain't even stressed about it, man. So I would say that we just got to beat all the teams, all the best teams that we play. And when we play a good team, beat them. That's simply put. You know what I mean? Like play a good team, knock them out, and decidedly. So, and then obviously you look to like, do we have somebody in the running for MVP? Do we have somebody in the running for Offensive Player of the Year? Does Jared Verse just score Defensive Player of the Year this year? How's our special teams looking? Is Josh Carty just one of those automatic guys? He hit his last 17 last season. Is he just one of those guys where it's like if he's going, you can go ahead and hit the bathroom early because you feel so good about it, kind of thing? It's all that stuff. It's all the feel of it and how good we feel going into each game. Even when you lose a game, you leave that game being like, that was just a bad day. I mean, what can you do? It happens. And we're going to have those where we feel like we're better than our opponent, but we lose. That's going to happen. And you can just say, it's like, well, you know, hopefully we get them again later this year, maybe in the playoffs, something like that. It's like, unfortunate we lost that one. And those feelings coming out of a game being like, damn, just off day. Instead of like, oh no, it's crumbling. Like, you know what I mean? That changes. It's a whole different energy. Next one here coming from Nathan. What was going through your head when the Bucs tied the game in the NFC divisional round playoff game in 2021? Nothing good, dude. I was like, oh man, we're about to get Brady right now. That's literally what I was like, we're getting Brady so hard right in the neck, dude. This is terrible. So that's kind of exactly what I was feeling, man. But obviously, we didn't get Brady. They got Stafforded. Matthewed? They got 9'd? I don't know, man. There's something there. But yeah, it did really feel that way of like, crud. Like Brady's going to do Brady things. We're going to have to go home. But then, you know, yeah, it's like Stafford. As soon as that first pass to Cup, that outside one, not the he's got Cup again, that first outside one was like, oh no, we're just going to be fine. It really did feel that way. And then the he's got Cup again play was like, oh yeah, this is so sick. NFC Championship, bro. Let's go. So yeah, but that was when the game was tied, it was like, oh no. Like, oh no. And my sister's a Bucs fan. It was like, she's going to be such a jerk about this, dude. And I'm not. Whenever my team beats somebody that I know or whatever, like a team that family or whatever, I say the same thing every time. Hey, good game. Every time. That's all I've got. Whatever. I'm not here to be like, you suck. That's so stupid to me. Grow up. This is a game. Okay? Take it serious. Let's see here. What was your reaction to DK getting cut? This is coming from Ram's house. My initial reaction was like, man, he's just not putting it together. He didn't put it together, man. He didn't do enough. But ultimately, man, I'm not necessarily surprised. The way he was playing in preseason, he looked very, very much as a bottom depth chart guy. So I was kind of not ready to say it out loud because I've been so vocal about DK, but like quietly watching that last preseason game and even the Chargers where it was like, he's not the guy, man. So, I mean, my opinions are fluid. They're able to change as new information comes in. I'm not going to sit here and just like dig in my heels on something so hard that I cannot change my mind. Eventually, there comes times where you're like, okay, yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong about DK. Whatever. I can admit that. That's totally fine. We've got a hell of a squad, so it's fine. It's not like DK gets cut and it's like, now we can't cover anybody. Bummer. It's like, no, we actually have some really good players still, so it's going to be fine. And last one here coming from Nathan. Is Aaron Donald the greatest Ram of all time? Oh, man, that's tough. He's certainly mentioned for sure. I mean, no doubt, obviously. I think we all know that. You have to say his name when it comes to greatest Rams of all time. Merlin Olsen is certainly in there. Deacon Jones is certainly in there. Dickerson certainly in there. Yeah, we've had some really, really good guys on this team in our history. So, I mean, but Aaron Donald, I think, I don't want to call it recency bias or anything like that. It just was one of those things where as long as Aaron Donald's in the game, it's like, yeah, this quarterback might die today. And I don't know, I wasn't around for the greatest, or the Fearsome Foursome. I was around for the greatest on turf, but like not the Fearsome Foursome. I didn't watch those games myself. You know what I mean? So I don't know how that felt watching those games and watching those opponents. I do know how it felt watching Aaron Donald. That fourth down play against Cincinnati, I know Sean McVay said it. He's like, Aaron's going to make a play, but we're all sitting there. I watched Aaron Donald from snap on from that play. It was just one of those. So, yeah, I would say yes, simply put. My camera's going to die here in any second, so if I disappear, sorry about it. But make sure you follow everywhere on socials, at Ram Showcase, at Sheriff Joe Bags, ramshowcase.com. Tuna and the Sheriff, 3 days a week live. That is on the First and Tuna podcast YouTube channel, and the Ram Showcase Facebook page is where that streams live. LA Rams fans on Instagram, you can follow there. You can be seeing a lot of content from Tuna and the Sheriff there as well. So good news there. Next week, we will get into our full game preview, week 1, as the Houston Texans come to town to take on our LA Rams. Going to be an awesome time. CJ Stroud, Nick Chubb coming to town to take on our squad. We'll see what happens. Game preview, though, our first game preview of the 25 season, coming your way next episode of Ram Showcase 1 week from, Wednesday. Wednesday is when it comes out, as we are regular season schedule. But that is going to do it for me. I am Sheriff Joe Bags. This has been Rams Showcase on Sports War Radio and the Fan-Sided Network. For those of you who aren't Rams fans, our thoughts and prayers are with you. For those of you who are Rams fans, thank you so much for watching, and go Rams.